I hereby call to order the Board of Directors meetings of New Jersey Transit Corporation, New Jersey Transit Rail Operations, Inc., New Jersey Transit Bus Operations, Inc., New Jersey Transit Mercer, Inc., and New Jersey Transit Morris, Inc. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now take roll call. Board Member Brantis? Here. Board Member Marocco? Here. Board Member Nara?
Here.
Board Member Thomas?
Here.
Board Member Weiss?
Here.
Board Member Povia?
Here.
Board Member Cruz?
Here.
Vice Chair Carson?
Here.
Board Member Bertoni?
Here.
For the record, Board Members Bertoni, Nara, and Povia are participating remotely. Board Member McCray is absent. This is a meeting of the New Jersey Transit Corporation and its affiliates and subsidiaries. Adequate notice has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and NJ Transit's enabling legislation. Notice was filed on October 3rd, 2025 with the Secretary of State and sent to newspapers of general distribution, posted in the main entrance of NJ Transit's headquarters, published on the corporation's website, and sent to each individual agency and organization that requested such notice.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the September 19th, 2025 board meeting? May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Motion carried.
Okay, Suzanne Mack will present the advisory committee report.
Commissioner, can you hear me?
We can hear
Yes,
you.
we can hear
Can you
you.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. I apologize. It's hard to tell if you're being heard, and it always throws me a little bit. I apologize, but thank you. I'm very happy to be here tonight virtually to present for the North and South Jersey PACs. We appreciate the opportunity to come before you. It's a challenging time, I know, for everyone with the government shutdown in D.C. I know that puts even more pressure on the board members and President Glory in order, as our federal partners are not available, and I know how much we depend on FHWA and FTA and the other federal agencies, and I also know that the committees are concerned about the recent announcements about withdrawing of funding for Gateway and other projects. So we're hoping that the government reopens soon and that everybody will get back to normal and we can get back on track, because I know that this board is really committed to getting everything for the people of New Jersey, and we appreciate your efforts in that area. I wanted to say that I also thought that this agenda and the activities in the past month really have focused on buses, and that's been a
Suzanne,
welcome.
can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we lost your audio for a moment. Please go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying that I think right now the focus in the past month has been on the buses, and South Jersey is particularly pleased with the service from Vineland to Atlantic City. They've wanted that for a long time, and we really are appreciative of the fact that it actually happened, and also the commitment of the 175 40-foot New Flyer buses, which are welcome with our aging fleet. So we're very happy about the fact that you've been able to deliver to the people in New Jersey these things. I wanted to say up in North Jersey that this Saturday is Meet the Fleet in the Hoboken Terminal. And if you had known many of my members of my committees, both committees that had served on the board forever, they would love to have been at these activities of actually seeing the rail cars. So I think it's a very nice activity for us up in North Jersey. It gives us a chance to really celebrate our heritage here. We did look at the agenda, and one thing that has been near and dear to the committees is the Access Link program is very important to us. And we see that tonight that you will be authorizing, if you approve, the execution of an optional period for the contract for services to Essex, Union, Somerset, Morris, and parts of Hudson County. And we just want to again say to you that we really appreciate the services that you are providing on the street for our residents. Our next committee meeting will be October 24th. It's virtual. If anybody ever has a chance to come, they're usually at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And Anna Marie Ganella will be reporting on that meeting next month. So I really appreciate the fact that you let me come in tonight to give these brief remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public?
There are, but I do not see Vito Hervilla in person. So we are going to move to the telephone speakers next. But as a reminder, priority access will be given to pre-registered telephone speakers, followed by any additional telephone participants who are queued to speak. Those participating by telephone, if you've not already done so, please press *1 on your telephone keypad to enter the queue to speak. You will hear a brief tone to indicate you have successfully entered the queue. We have 2 pre-registered telephone speakers, and everyone will be given 3 minutes. Operator, please open the floor to public comments.
Certainly. And once again, just please press *1 at this time if you wish to join queue to make a public comment at this time. And at this time, we have 5 participants in queue to make a public comment. And the first public comment will be coming from Sally Jane Geller. And just as a reminder, you will have 3 minutes and you will receive a warning with 1 minute remaining and again with 15 seconds remaining. Once again, your first speaker will be Sally Jane Geller. Sally, your line is live and your time will begin now.
Hi, this is Sally Jane Gellert. I am the chairperson of the Lackawanna Coalition, and I would like to invite everyone to our October 27th meeting with Scott Spencer to talk about Ameristar Rail's cross-country train proposal. I will leave most of our statement for Vito Havrella, who will be speaking later. I will mention that the Morristown station has abandoned bicycles and elevators on Platform 1. A Lackawanna Coalition member, Ron Weissman, has been observing issues at the Morristown and Morris Plains stations and recently alerted us and customer advocate Frank Baumann to 2 items that have been addressed. First, abandoned bicycles that prevent new riders from locking their bikes in the rack, which have since been removed. And second, an out-of-service elevator on Platform 1. The elevator is also working again, for which we are grateful. But Ron warns that this is a recurring issue that can be more than a minor annoyance. He reports that on one occasion, the fire department was called in to rescue a stuck passenger. We hope that New Jersey Transit will look at why this recurs periodically and find a more permanent solution. Now, on a personal note, my personal comment is regarding New Jersey Night on Broadway. I was on your website and I found this, and as a former theatrical stage manager, still an inactive member of Actors Equity, I appreciate this promotion, even if it's available only on your mobile app. As a history buff, I appreciate the promotional language of in 1787, New Jersey became the 3rd state in the Union. In 2025, it will be the first state with its own dedicated night on Broadway. Unfortunately, I will be unable to participate, but a discounted Broadway show and dinner, complete with train tickets, is a great way to get folks to try New Jersey Transit for the first time, or a nice reward for a more frequent rider. I'll yield back the rest of my time to Vito. Thank you.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Maddie Bucky's Highland. Maddie, your line is live and your time will begin now.
Before I begin, can you hear me okay, sir?
Yes, your audio is coming through clearly.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, and good evening, everybody. My name is Maddie Bucky's Highland. One of the things I'm proud to accomplish is that it's great to live in a society where transit is great for all people. But, there's a catch when it comes to that. In order to keep this system operational running, the best way to do it is by doing small and predictable fare increases like the MTA does across the Hudson River. For example, none of this would have been possible without increased funding. For example, for the Silver Line on the Washington Metro train, which goes all the way out into Ashburn, Virginia, which is in Loudoun County, which is a population of over 400,000 people. For example, in 2014, under then Virginia Governor Terrence R. McCullough, the Silver Line was expanded from East Falls Church to Wheelie Reston, and then from 2022, under then the current governor of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin, out in from Fairfax County to Ashburn and Loudoun County. This improved so many commuters' who work and live in Washington, D.C. Unfortunately, with government out of funds, we now must rely on ourselves. What's the best way going forward during this shutdown? So my suggestion would be if we do fare increase, we do it in a small and a predictable way. Other than that, that's all I have to say for this month. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you very much, operator.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Adam Reich. Adam, your line is live and your time will begin now.
Good evening. First off, one concern I have is with an action item to award a maintenance contract for Riverline vehicles. While I understand that there is a need to pivot immediately with New Jersey Transit taking over direct operation of the service, I fail to see how it's reasonable to declare a 5-year contract necessary for public exigency. If you want to ensure that riders are getting the most value out of a contract, particularly at a time where they're asked to pay ever-increasing fares, there should be a competitive bidding process. The board, unless there's an option that just isn't clearly communicated in the materials you put out to the public, needs to limit the length of the contract to the period necessary to conduct a reasonable competitive bidding process with appropriate review. A 5-year contract is problematic because we will have a new governor in a few months, and it basically means that the next administration, unless there's an appropriate out, won't have the ability to really do anything about it. For these reasons, the length of the contract should be limited to a period necessary for reasonable competitive bidding to occur. That's not to say that this contractor may not be the best one, but riders need to be assured, especially as they're being asked to pay ever higher fares, that they are getting the right service provider and paying the most reasonable price for that service. Next, an issue I've raised before is this. Mr. Calori raised the issue of how public employees spend their time, namely that they shouldn't be on public time when advancing a personal purpose, and they shouldn't be using public resources to do that. Yet I've asked Mr. Calori on several instances to review an issue that occurred under his predecessor. Specifically, I know that at least one employee and his supervisor, which suggests strongly to me that it was on company time, were making it an issue to 2 rail advocacy organizations
1 minute remaining,
dependent on their relationship with New Jersey Transit, that I was criticizing Mr. Calori's predecessor. Mr. Calori, if you're going to hold me to that standard, which is fair and reasonable, I ask that you do so the same, and pledge to me that you will in some way, shape, or form reach out to me and review what transpired. Finally, there needs to be better contingency planning when there's a service disruption. I know Mr. Calori was kind of dismissive of people criticizing the Morristown line suspension, but I fail to understand why a 3-track line between Maplewood and Milburn could not have had some service during that weekend. I can understand the obstruction in Summit creating some issues, but the fact is equipment could have been relayed via the Montclair Booten line from Dover Yard or pulled
15
from
seconds.
Great Notch Yard to provide some service on the line. With 3 tracks, you could have easily used 1 or 2 in revenue services and still had 1 or 2 clear for work equipment. Board, please probe this a little more. Please don't just let this go without some scrutiny of it and some more cohesive effort to ensure better contingency planning than referring people to the ABCs, which don't do much on weekends.
Thank you. The next public comment is coming from Andy Weiss. Andy, your line is live and your time will begin now.
Good evening. The NJ Transit Board continues to sabotage the NJ Transit customer advocate position. We, the people, demand that the NJ Transit customer advocate participate at all main NJ Transit Board meetings by replying to our public comments at the end of our public comment period. He should be doing this today at this meeting. We, the people, demand that the NJ Transit customer advocate participate at the main NJ Transit Board meetings by replying to our public comments at the end of our public comment period. We, the people, demand that the NJ Transit customer advocate participate at the main NJ Transit Board meetings by replying to our public comments at the end of our public comment period. We, the people, demand that our customer advocate advertise his position at all NJ Transit stations and on buses, light rail trains, and commuter rail trains. We, the people, demand that our customer advocate advertise his position at all NJ Transit stations and on buses, light rail trains, and commuter rail trains. We, the people, demand that our customer advocate advertise his position at all NJ Transit stations and on buses, light rail trains, and commuter rail trains. Stop sabotaging the NJ Transit customer advocate. Stop sabotaging the NJ Transit customer advocate. Stop sabotaging the NJ Transit customer advocate. NJ Transit Board member Shanti Nara is the worst NJ Transit Board member in NJ Transit history. She took 4 years to hire a customer advocate. NJ Transit Board member Shanti Nara is the worst NJ Transit Board member in NJ Transit history. She took 4 years to hire a customer advocate. Again, NJ Transit Board member Shanti Nara is the worst NJ Transit Board member in NJ Transit history. She took 4 years to hire a customer advocate. The customer advocate needs to have a link to contact them on the Rider Tools section of the NJ Transit app.
1 minute remaining.
The customer advocate needs to have a link to contact them on the Rider Tools section of the customer advocate of the NJ Transit app. The NJ Transit customer advocate is only a listener, but is not taking an active role in advocating for NJ Transit riders. Mr. Kalori, why are you allowing the NJ Transit customer advocate to be sabotaged? Why are you not advertising the customer advocate position at NJ Transit stations and buses, trains, and light rail? Mr. Kalori, why does the customer advocate not have a phone number to leave him a voicemail? Mr. Kalori, why does the customer advocate not have a phone number to leave him a voicemail? Many NJ Transit riders they're not computer literate. You need to advertise the customer advocate at all stations and buses, light rail, and it must have a phone number. You need to do better, Mr. Kalori. You need to be transparent. Thank you.
Thank you. And as a reminder, if you wish to join the queue to make a public comment at this time, you may press *1 on your keypad. Once again, that'll be *1 if you wish to join queue to make a public comment at this time. And the next public comment is coming from David Peter Allen. David Peter, your line is live and your time will begin now.
Good evening. I am David Peter Allen making a personal statement. That means I am speaking only for myself and not for anybody else. I filed a complaint last month, number 01776944, about lack of information concerning a bus operated by another carrier, Suburban Transit, but under New Jersey Transit's flag. It was the 817, and I had planned to go from South Amboy to Keyport. It took me 20 minutes to learn from Suburban Transit that the bus had broken down. I made a second attempt to make that same trip on Friday, September 26th. Again, the 817 bus did not show, and New Jersey Transit appeared unable to locate it and give me information. I again gave up and left South Amboy without having reached my destination in Keyport. Last month, I asked what the agency will do to make sure we riders have information about every bus that runs under its flag. Now that this incident occurred a second time, I asked the same question a second time. How about an answer? More than 1 year ago, I also filed a complaint, number 01669681, regarding the agency's policy of refusing to accommodate close connections between buses when the first bus is late by a few minutes, even if the second bus runs only a few times that day. The incident occurred as part of an effort to catch the 871 bus at Willowbrook on September 28, 2024. No person of appropriate authority at NJ Transit has ever spoken with me or otherwise contacted me about this policy, which appears to constitute willful indifference to the needs of riders who depend on NJ Transit for their mobility. I received only an acknowledgement of receipt, a document that in itself is never enough to solve a problem. Now that the Senior Citizens and Disabled Residents Transportation Advisory Committee, SCATTERTAC, did not vote by a sufficient number to expel or otherwise punish me, I am suggesting ways to ensure that future disciplinary hearings are fair to members. At a light rail conference in Pittsburgh sponsored by Railway Age on October 1st, I moderated a panel on Pop-Up Metro, a system that can offer rail service at a significantly lower expenditure than the cost of going through the FTA's New Starts program. On Tuesday, October 7th, my report was posted on the website www.railwayage.com. A senior manager from New Jersey Transit's light rail side attended the conference and heard the panel. I hope that pop-up Metro can provide opportunities for this agency to initiate new rail services, and that it could also provide a solution to the problems with equipment now running on the River Line. I offer to do what I can to initiate discussions about this potential solution.
15 seconds.
Finally, although I do not use Access Link because I don't need it, I know and appreciate how vitally important it is for people who do need it and use it. Thank you.
Thank you. Your next public comment is coming from Daryl Bradford. Daryl, your line is live and your time will begin now.
Yes, hello, everyone. My name is Daryl Bradford from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My public comment is that is there any way y'all can get new equipment for the Atlantic City Line, whatever that's possible? Like the Jeeps keep breaking down more often than normal, and it's very concerning and stuff. And and when is the new multiple was running to replace the arrows, so the arrows are breaking down also. Now, is there any way y'all can address that or something like that? Because this whole system really needs new equipment. And that's all I got to say. Thank you very much. You have a good day.
Thank you. There are no further participants in queue to make public comment at this time.
Thank you. We have 3 in-person speakers. The first speaker is David Anderson, followed by Tanine Howard.
My name is David Anderson. I'm a member of the Lackawanna Coalition and Scattertech, but I'm speaking personally with a suggestion. In light of the broadening chance of a protracted government shutdown, and with it in increasing difficulty for people to take air travel, planes from different cities, to their destinations, particularly in the area that's served by New Jersey Transit and SEPTA. I'm urging New Jersey Transit to work with SEPTA to promote taking the train instead of the plane, but from Newark or New York City to Philadelphia. This could also apply to other destinations up and down the Northeast Corridor. It would introduce rail travel with its benefits to many people who wouldn't even think of taking the train. But in light of the current situation, they may reconsider and think it's a viable option. So this is hopefully you can look into this with SEPTA and anybody else too. Amtrak would also be a good one to work with. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next speaker is Tanine Howard, followed by Vito Havrilla.
This one. This thing on? Hello, everyone. As I told you all before, I would come back, and I will come back with documentation. It's just a little bit of documentation, because I had a whole lot of documentation, a whole lot of files, recordings, and everything. Just to reacquaint everybody to what I was talking about, I originally came here, and I was talking about a letter that was addressed to Chris Calori, May 15, 2006, that highlighted discrimination against Black male employees by the FHWA. And I think at your time, you set up an EEO committee and EEOC committee, a senior leadership committee. I don't know how much work they did or what they did or whether they took this serious. But I know Joe Bertoni could answer that. Joe Bertoni was there. He was, I don't know what capacity he was, but I know now he's the deputy commissioner. But he was in some sort of executive capacity during that time. And during the time that I had my troubles, he was actually the one in the leadership position. I submitted my troubles came, and I wanted to reacquaint y'all with a report, the judiciary report, 2017, August 25th, 2017 judiciary report that outlined the problems with New Jersey Transit and an appendix, the appendix criminal crop. This has so much information about what goes on in New Jersey Transit. Oh my God, mwah. Just check it out. I'll leave it for y'all. But my problem came when I filed a complaint against a guy named Paul Truber, who also is an employee of New Jersey Transit and DOT. He was at DOT, then after he had a problem with me, he landed at New Jersey Transit. Oh my gosh. Wow, so that's the complaint I have against him. I have a civil rights complaint that I have from the EEOC with Linda Legacy. She was the in charge of civil rights at the time. I have a complaint with her. Is this a documentation? This is some good documentation. It completes a story, a real good story. Here's the position I applied for, supervising transportation analysts. And this is how the people within DOT play with these positions and modify the jobs to fit the particular person they want to select. Next, what do I have? I have the appendix. I have the listing for Glory Federal Highway. Oh yeah, well that's about it. And I have the email backup. And this is my email exchange I've had with Vicky Tillman. She's now in a leadership position in civil rights, and Linda Legacy. I think she's a deputy in civil rights. And this is just the emails that went back and forth of me being harassed and trying to get them to do something about me being harassed by the Inspector General's office, which is almost like a secret police by the DOT, a Gestapo, you would say. That's it.
Thank you for
I'll be back.
Thank you for your comment. The next speaker is Vito Havrilla.
Hi, everyone. I'm Vito Havrilla, the Legislative Director and Vice Chair of the Lackawanna Coalition. I know Sally talked before, so I think she covered part of this, but I'm going to be reading our statement tonight. So here we go. First item. Morris-Essex Line service disruption. The derailment work on a work train on Friday, September 26 was covered by our statement at the Operation and Customer Service Committee meeting on the following Tuesday, which called for contingency plans to be on hand for unexpected disruptions that occur from time to time. We note that your ABCs are a decent starting point, but could be more robust to cover a wide variety of the riders' needs. We appreciate your crew's handling of both unexpected and planned service outages, which can call flexibility or not part of one's everyday work conditions. Next, Morristown Station, abandoned bicycles, elevator on platform 1. Lackawanna Coalition member Ron Reisman has been observing issues at the Morristown and Morris Plains stations and recently alerted us and the customer advocate Frank Bowman to the two items that have been addressed. First, abandoned bicycles that prevent new riders from locking their bikes in the rack since removed, and the second, an out-of-service elevator on platform 1. Elevator is also working again, for which we are grateful, but Ron warns that this is a recurring issue that can be more than a minor annoyance. He reports that on one occasion, the fire department was called in to rescue a stuck passenger. We hope that NJ Transit will look at why this occurs periodically and find a more permanent solution. Montclair trains New York City. This weekend, October 11th and 12th, because of track work, trains on the Montclair Blue Line are planned to run from Bay Street to New York Penn Station. We see this opportunity to run these trains to Montclair State University rather than just to Bay Street. This is probably too late for this weekend, but we ask you to consider in the future, which would serve as a test for more such service on a regular basis. With Halloween/Day of the Dead weekend, November 1st and 2nd coming up, we note that in the past years we have seen crowding, so we suggested use longer train sets as is done for other holidays. Next, action items. 2510-44 River Line maintenance. We are glad to see this project moving forward. Having all three lines on one system makes sense. We certainly hope to see system improvements. 45 Access Link. This is an important service for many New Jersey residents who are unable to use this scheduled transit service as shown by increased ridership. You cite, we appreciate the plans for Access Link service to continue without interruption. Expect that the enhanced service standards and performance requirements required by consent agreement will continue uninterrupted. 46, Newark Light Rail Propulsion System. We note that this is related to an obsolete propulsion system that is to be replaced and is a trial prototype system. We hope that the test is successful and wonder if you have contingency plans should it not work as expected. Extending trains to 5 sections to 3 seems to be a good way to increase capacity at busy times. Thank you.
Thank you. We have one more telephone speaker. Operator?
Johan, your line is live and your time will begin now.
Hi, good evening, members of the NJ Transit Board. My name is Johan. I reside in North Bergen in Hudson County, and I'm here to express my serious concerns about the unreliability of the Hudson Bergen Light Rail, especially on weekends, and how there was a complete breakdown in passenger communication that occurred back on Saturday, September 27th. On that day, hundreds of passengers were stranded at the Bergenland Avenue station with absolutely no information about when the next train would arrive. What made this situation particularly unacceptable was the total absence of communication from NJ Transit staff or any digital information systems. Passengers received no estimated arrival times for the next train, no explanation for the delay, no suggestions for alternative routes to reach downtown destinations, no acknowledgement that there was even a service disruption. This left commuters in an impossible situation, unable to make informed decisions about whether to wait for service to resume or to seek alternative transportation. Many of us depend on the Hudson Bergen Light Rail to get to work, medical appointments, and other time-sensitive obligations. The lack of communication shows a fundamental disregard for passengers' time and needs. And this is not isolated. The Hudson Bergen Light Rail has developed a reputation for unreliability with frequent delays, service disruptions, and poor communication becoming the norm rather than the exception. And riders deserve better. Public transportation is a public trust. Thousands of Hudson County residents rely on the HBLR daily, and we deserve reliable service and at a minimum clear communication when problems arises. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. And there are no further participants in queue to make a public comment at this time.
Thank you, public speakers. Are there any board member comments? Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Should I go? Sure. I just wanted to thank the customer advocate who told me recently, following a concern that was raised by a Newark community group called La Casa de Don Pedro, which is a over 50-year-old social services and community development organization in Newark, about the Orange Street Light Rail stop in Newark. A lot of school children, because there's, I think, 4 different elementary or other schools in that area, having issues crossing the street. The customer advocate was able to gather an enormous number of different professionals from New Jersey Transit to address the issue. And as I learned today, complete phase 1 of a multi-phase project to keep improving that important intersection and crossing where, again, hundreds of kids use every day. So I was just happy to hear about the progress, happy to hear about the responsiveness, initially during the summer, and that we reached this point. So I just wanted to thank the customer advocate for that.
Thank you. Board Member Nara, did you have a comment?
Yes. So this is in response to David Peter Allen's comments regarding the failure of, I think it was the 817 he was talking about from South Amboy or South River to Keyport. The only thing worse than late buses is buses that don't arrive. And then the only thing that can compound the problems with that is not having any communication. So I'm going to ask bus operations if they can please look into what's going on with Suburban's operations there. And why we're not able to get information about when a bus just sort of disappears from the schedule. And it sort of juxtaposes with what the last caller, I think his name was John, was talking about the light rail and the North Bergen line. I have been hearing consistently, some of our problems are just communication. And so I'm going to ask the light rail operations to maybe look into this and perhaps work in conjunction with our customer advocate to figure out if we are dropping the ball in terms of getting information out to our customers. It's a fix that has to be made, and I can't imagine with the wonderful staff that we have that it's a fix that can't be instituted and implemented. So I'm just going to ask staff to work on both of those issues and report back to us And that is it. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additional board member comments? Okay.
Okay. Chris will present the President and CEO's monthly report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, let me just say I don't think there's a single person in New Jersey who doesn't appreciate people who are board members across a multitude of agencies who serve on these boards for no pay and do it because they believe it's their duty. And I don't know of a single board member who does anything other than what is right for the agency and what is right for the ridership. So I just wanted to go on the record and say that is, I find it's one thing to say something about me or my colleagues. It is another thing to accuse a board member of not conducting themselves in a manner that is appropriate. Feel free to direct your anger at me, but not at the board members. On the customer advocate, the customer advocate does a remarkable job. Even though he reports directly to the board, he is out and about every single day. He talks to more customers than I know, and the reason I know this is because he presents very detailed reports to the Customer Advocacy Committee, of which most of these callers who called in today call in on. And they hear exactly what he has to say and what he reports on. So, and the fact that there is a perception that he is hidden is, one, not true. And second, he is out there listening and actually bringing stuff back, and we are rectifying stuff that he addresses and then he raises. So I want you to know that we take all these positions seriously. This is an important business we're running, and we don't sort of hide people in closets so they're not visible to the public. So that is not what we do. And I want to say this because I think the work that has been happening, not just in the 9 months, but for the last several years, really reflects this momentum that we are on in this agency. This idea on Riverline, and I want to, that's an item you're going to be considering today. It was a big decision for New Jersey Transit to say that we're going to bring a business back in because we think it is the right decision and we can do better. And we don't make those decisions lightly, nor do we do it because we think we're just going to want to waste customer dollars or taxpayer dollars. This is a very important inflection point in the Riverline's operations. And the board item in front of you reflects the seriousness with which we bring these issues to you. And Mike Kilcoyne and Greg Woods and others who are here today will answer any questions you have. So these resolutions just don't appear out of thin air. Months and months of very serious work goes into these things to get them to a point where we can come to you and present it today. So I want you to know it. Board members, I want you to know it, but I want the public to understand that as well. We are so happy that this last week we announced our bus fleet. Suzanne Mack said something about that. That is a very important moment. We often talk about how important rail is, but bus sometimes gets overlooked, but not anymore. We are in the process of receiving 1,000 buses. We are about to place an order for 1,400 more buses for a total of 2,400 buses. This is a real effort to modernize a very, very important component part of our mass transit system. And the fact that we were able to unveil a 40-foot cruiser with Congressman Menendez and Chairman O'Connor last week was a first step in keeping that commitment. We are on a march to modernize this agency one way or the other. And I want to just talk about 3 more things, if I could, Madam Chair. One, Suzanne Mack also talked about Vineland and our bus operations we started there. It is the best example I could think of a practical problem that existed in Vineland where they didn't have an ability to get people to Atlantic City in time for work during the shifts. So we were able to work with the South Jersey Transportation Authority to come up with a bus that essentially matches the scheduled times of arrival and scheduled times of departure on 2 different trips, one in the morning and one in the afternoon times 2. So that is an example of how we try to solve problems day to day. Not everything is about building a rail line to solve a problem. We try to solve problems on the entire spectrum of problems and not just the biggest one. Today, we announced a fare modernization plan. I've always said we're going to focus on 3 things: rolling stock, infrastructure, and human capital. But to do those 3 things, you need a strong fiscal foundation. Fares, authorized fares, I might add, is really the linchpin of how we fund this organization. We get about $926 million a year from fares. We need to make sure we have the capacity, the technology, and the will to collect the fares that are due. So we introduced a modern fare gate today. We ordered 72, and they'll go into Secaucus, and they'll go into Newark Liberty Airport. We also are about to unveil a new set of mobile validation devices. These are the devices you see ticket collectors carrying that are now capable, are not only accepting fare cards eventually, but also to capture appropriately the tickets that should be collected on the trains. Third, we're modernizing all 2,400 buses with new fare collection fare boxes. Finally, we're also, this morning, in my hometown of Princeton Junction, we deployed ticket collectors on the platforms so we can collect tickets before they get on the train. These are efforts not to be punitive, but to make sure we have a fair and equitable systems. If we have people who are paying, we need to make sure those who are not paying are responsible for paying their tickets. That is how you run a system. Otherwise, this is not going to work. And I want you to know we take this very, very seriously. And I said this morning, and I think it's worth repeating. The budget of New Jersey Transit organically grows up by $200 million a year. You can't keep going back to the legislature and ask for more money every single year, nor can you just keep raising fares. You got to come up with, make sure we collect our fares, number one, and come up with non-fare revenues, which we're going to announce next week. We have to be all in on these strategies. And what I want you to know is this group of people who work with me are taking this very, very, very seriously. And finally, several months ago, we announced an unhoused program called Gateway to Hope. Sorry, thank you, Evan. Gateway to Hope in Newark. To date, we have serviced 1,234 unique individuals. We have provided transportation services for 242 people, and the most important metric, we have placed 86 people in housing. That is real progress, and that happens only because we get to work with Prudential, we get to work with Horizon, we get to work with Evans Group and the City of Newark and our police department. I want to make sure they are all partners in making sure we're trying to address this issue day in, day out. With that, I'll turn back to my notes. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Cruz will present the Operations and Customer Service Committee report.
Thank you, Chair. The Operations and Customer Service Committee received an update on trends, analysis, and actions for rail, bus, light rail, and access link. We also received an update from the customer advocate and an update on the cost of service. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Morocco will present the Administration Committee report.
The Administration Committee received a financial update. This included a summary of operating results compared to previous year's comparable period and fiscal year 26 budget, 12-month fare box revenue compared to budget, and major balance sheet items. Additional information was provided as part of the agenda materials, including the cost of service key performance indicators, 12-month fare box recovery, history of vacancies, attritions and hires, ridership and revenue, and a monthly budget to actual comparison for August 2025. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Board Member Weiss will present the Capital Planning, Policy, and Privatization Committee report.
Thank you. The Capital Planning, Policy, and Privatization Committee reviewed the board items 4, provision of additional funding, authorization, and execution of option period 1 for contract 21-063 for the provision of access link services in Region 5, which is Essex, Union, Somerset, Morris, and parts of Hudson counties, and Newark Light Rail propulsion system and vehicle extenders procurement by exception authorization. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Board Member Abrantes will present the Safety Committee report.
The Safety Committee received a comprehensive update on key safety performance indicators for rail, light rail, bus, access link, and construction safety, comparing results from the first 2 quarters of 2024 with the same period in 2025. Agency safety management emphasized its ongoing commitment to education, outreach, and community engagement, prioritizing high-risk areas through targeted programming. In Q2 2025, the team delivered 30 high-impact presentations, reaching more than 3,900 students and community members across New Jersey through 20 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, 1 high school, and 2 adult or community organizations. A key highlight of the Special Safety Education Awareness Program, where 3 sessions were delivered to 24 students with special needs. Chief Rizzullo reported statistics related to departments working during the month of September concerning outreach and Narcan. The chief also discussed ongoing planning efforts for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Finally, the chief briefed the committee on full-scale exercise that was held on Saturday, September 6th on the Newark City subway. That concludes my report.
Chris will present the action items.
The first item, I'm going to ask Mike Kilcoyne, Senior Vice President of Surface Transit and General Manager of Bus Operations, to present Board Item 2510-44.
Thank you, Chris. We are presenting for approval item 2510-44, Riverline Maintenance of Equipment Procurement by Exception Authorization. Authorization is requested to enter into a procurement by exception contract with Quinquishario International, LLC of El Segundo, California, for maintenance of equipment and capital asset replacement program services required for the Riverline light rail vehicles and service properties at a cost not to exceed $171,801,265.65 plus 5% for contingencies subject to the availability of funds. The board will be advised when actual spending is projected to exceed this allowance. We ask for your approval of item 2510-44.
May I have a motion to approve board item 2510-44? May I have a second? Second. Any discussion? Okay. Megan, please take roll call.
Roll call vote. Board Member Abrantes?
Yes.
Board Member Marocco?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Povia?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Board Member Bertoni?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I'd like Mike to present 2510-45.
Thank you. We are presenting for approval item 2510-45, provision of additional funding authorization and execution of option period 1 for contract 21-063 for the provision of access link service in Region 5, which is Essex, Union, Somerset, Morris, and parts of Hudson counties. Authorization is requested to increase the contract with Easton Coach Company of Easton, Pennsylvania, to operate access link service in Region 5 for the 38-month base contract period from April 10th, 2023 through June 30th of 2026 by a cost of $19,123,573 plus 5% for contingencies for a total authorization increase of $20,079,752, subject to the availability of funds and approval of New Jersey Transit's operating budget. Authorization is also requested to exercise the first option to extend the contract with Easton Coach Company of Easton, Pennsylvania, to operate access link service in Region 5 for a 24-month period from July 1st, 2026 through June 30th of 2028 at a cost not to exceed $100,939,921 plus 5% for contingencies for a total contract authorization of $105,986,917, subject to the availability of funds and approval of New Jersey Transit's operating budget. We ask for your approval of item 2510-45.
May I have a motion to approve board item 2510-45? May I have a second? Second. Any discussion? Okay. Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Board Member Abrantes?
Yes.
Board Member Marocco?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Povia?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Board Member Bertoni?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Mike, can you also present 2510-46?
Yes, sir. We are presenting for approval item 2510-46, Newark Light Rail Propulsion System and Vehicle Extenders Procurement by Exception Authorization. This authorization is requested to enter into a contract with Kinky Sherrio International, LLC of El Segundo, California, via procurement by exception for light rail vehicle propulsion and capacity extender services required for the Newark light rail vehicles at a cost not to exceed $25,102,065, including 5% for contingency, subject to the availability of funds. The board will be advised when actual spending is projected to exceed this allowance. We ask for your approval of item 2510-46.
May I have a motion to approve board item 2510-46? Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, Megan, can we take a roll call vote?
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes? Yes. Board Member Marocco?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Povia?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Board Member Bertoni?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Madam Chair, I'd like to ask Gagandeep Singh, the SVP for Real Estate Development and Planning, to present item number 2510-47.
Thanks, Chris. We are presenting for approval item number 2510-47, authority to enter into a development management agreement between NJ Transit and DOR Woodbridge LLC for public infrastructure improvements as a part of the transit-oriented development project at Metro Park Station. Authorization is requested to take all necessary actions to execute a development management agreement between NJ Transit and DOR Woodbridge LLC to advance the Metro Park Station project. Authorization is also requested to expend from New Jersey Transportation Trust Fund in an amount not to exceed $15 million to support the public infrastructure improvements at Metro Park Station. We ask for your approval of item 2510-47.
May I have a motion to approve board item 2510-47? Second? May I have a second? Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes?
Yes.
Board Member Marocco? Yes. Board Member Nara? Board Member Nara? It looks like she's speaking, but I can't hear her. I'll come back to her. Board Member Weiss?
Yeah.
Board Member Povia?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Board Member Nara? Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Board Member Bertoni?
Yes.
Motion carried. For the record, Board Member Thomas is recused from item 2510-48 and will not comment on the item.
Madam Chair, I'm going to ask Jignasa Desai McCleary, our SVP and CAO of Administration Risk, to present item number 2510-48. She's looking for the item. Chris, can you give it?
We are presenting for approval item 2510-48, personal injury claim of Rahim Ali. Authorization is requested to settle the claim of Rahim Ali through his attorney at an amount discussed in executive session. The Attorney General has approved the proposed settlement, subject to the availability of funds. We ask for your approval of item 2510-48. Thank you.
May I have a motion to approve board item 2510-48?
Motion.
May I have a second? Second. Any discussion? Okay, Megan, please take a roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Board Member Brontes?
Yes.
Board Member Marocco?
Yes.
Board Member Nara?
Yes.
Board Member Weiss?
Yes.
Board Member Povia?
Yes.
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Chair Carson?
Yes.
Board Member Bertoni?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Madam Chair, there's no need for an executive session. The issue we were going to discuss is not ripe, so we're good.
Thank you, Chris. Since there is no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? May I have a second? Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Any opposed? Okay. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.